It's the word is fish and chips. It can be anything that is battered that they call fish. And sometimes it's so thin it's like eating a wafer. And what you turn around and you need a big chunky piece of fish.
The last time we had doesn't have fish at all.
And you heard that from the Filipino. Not from the fat man. Okay. So it's cod and chips today. So we've got some nice big Buddha potatoes. I've peeled them, well I've washed them, I've peeled them. I've added a little bit of salt to the water to keep the colour, so they don't go brown or start discolouring. I'm going to cut those into big chips, but I'll do that in a second. I bought some cod this week. Let's have a look at this. So we've got out on the balcony today, lovely. So this is Alaskan cod, Alaskan black cod, skinless, very few bones. But I was just going to show you, see how much water you get out of American fish. Yeah, Alaskan cod. It's pumped full of water. It's fresh, don't get me wrong, it's fresh. It comes in a Cryovac bag, so that was that. But this fillet here is a John Dory fillet that I can't actually physically pick up. There's a little fillet inside it, but look how much glaze is actually put on this cod fillet that you have to turn around and defrost. And this comes from SM Langham, but the glaze is not 1 or 2 or 3%. It's about 50% of the weight of this. That's what you have to deal with. But anyway, not to worry. And then here on my little lid, way there, let's put that down. So here you've got, I'm outside so you can hear everybody. Oh, look at that. Here we've got some garden peas with some mint and salt. I'm not putting any sugar in this, and then I've just added some hot water for it, and then we're going to add them to some butter, and then we're going to crush them a little bit to become our peas to go with our cod. So we're going to surround and do battered cod in beer batter, we're going to do chunky chips, and we're going to do garden peas, and that's going to be lunch today here on the balcony, a fresh lunch. So that's how fresh it is. It's out there. Yeah, I'm on the balcony. This isn't a professional kitchen, this is a wooden table on my balcony. Flavour, I use sea salt, I don't use iodine salt, definitely don't do MSG, contrary to what a lot of other people turn around and say. Now I've got the salt, so I'm going to turn around and put a little bit of salt onto my Alaskan cod. That will help draw more of that water out. What you don't want is, you don't want wet and soggy fish. So before we fry this, we're going to pat it dry before we flour it, and then we're going to cook it in the oil. I've got this this cooking oil from the Philippines. Here we go. Now this might be a bone of contention because this is palm oil, okay, and there's a lot of issues about palm oil around the world. However, 76% of cooking oil sold in the Philippines is palm oil. Even though it causes deforestation and replanting, 76% is a lot of the market to be selling palm oil. But this is the #1 palm oil in the Philippines, and we're going to cook in that today. No blemishes, you've got no black marks. But as I said earlier, if I was using this at home back in the UK, I'd leave some skin on because that's where a lot of the flavour profile is. Chips were first mentioned, as in CHIPS, by Charles Dickinson back in the 1800s. I think it was A Tale of Two Cities, or yeah, I think it was A Tale of Two Cities. And the fish, battered fish, was mentioned in Oliver Twist. So in the UK, chips are fried potatoes like this, crispy. You can single fry, double fry, triple fry. You can cook them in beef tallow, you can cook them in oil, you can turn around and cook them in high high temperature oils, and then what you turn around and do is get them a nice golden colour but soft in the middle. And what you're looking for on a potato is you don't want it soft and pappy or waxy like a Nicola or like a Charlotte. What you're looking for is something that's robust, chunky and heavy. Chips aren't like what they get in America, which is the Lay's or the Pringles. That's not chips back in the UK or back in Europe. France call them French fries, but they're little skinny things. Yeah, they're not big chunky chips like this. So we'll go from there. Cod, here we go, let's get that cod. Cod's sitting there, see how much water's coming out of that? That's what you need to get out, and I'm going to pat that dry later and I'm going to fry this. Back in the UK we would actually cook around 250 to 300 gram fillet of cod. It's only in posh restaurants where you'll get these little fillets here. So I'll put that over there, and then down here we've still got this armour plated creme doria defrosting. The tail's okay, it's been out now for about 45 minutes. I've got my parsley because I'm going to fry a little bit of parsley later. I'm going to make the batter in a minute in here. So the batter is going to start with chopped parsley, lemon, salt. It's going to have strong flour, baking powder, and then I'm going to put red horse in it, not water, because that's got some aeration in it, that's got some fizz in it, that's got a bit of body to it, because you need your beer batter to turn around and be beery. In the UK, back home, we would actually use a bitter, a stout, a strong, robust beer in the batter to turn around and give it that little bit of flavouring. Now the batter, there are two kinds of batter. You've got the thick batter, which is like an armour plating, which gets really, really hard and really crispy and really chunky. And then you've got a lightish batter, which is about the consistency just thicker than of single cream, but not as thick as double cream. Some batters I've seen, they look like mayonnaise. You're dipping them in and you're trying to spread the batter onto the fish. That's not what you're looking for. That's definitely not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is you're looking for something that's going to stick to the flour, protect the fish during cooking, keep all the juices and the moisture of the fish inside the batter. If the fish is too wet, the batter will just drop off. Now, you don't want a tempura batter because that's Japanese. That's not what we're looking for here today. So tempura will be a light, crispy batter. This is going to be a light, medium batter. It's not going to be heavy, it's not going to be armour plating. It's going to turn around and give a nice crispiness. And when you're doing the batter, you need to make sure that the batter is a third one side, a third the bottom side of the fish, and then through the middle is the fish, the third of what the fish should be, and that gives you a nice ratio. If it's not very thick on one side and it's too thick on the other, then it's hard to get in to eat. Just prepared the lemons there, and I've de-seeded them, and I've taken the pith across the flesh so we can squeeze some lemon on our fish later. I was going to turn around and do tartar sauce, but I'm not going to do tartar sauce today. I'm going to turn around and do sea salt, I'm going to turn around and do tomato ketchup, and going to turn around and do malt vinegar. So I dried potatoes, get rid of the hot water. You don't want the chips to be spitting water at you, so don't just chuck it in. You need to dry them off using kitchen towel, and then what we're going to turn around and do is we're just going to watch these and then get them a nice golden brown coming on slowly. They're cooking at around about 180 to 200 degrees. That's the lowest the induction will turn down to. But once they start to cook, we're going to cook them up. So they're ready. Look at that. Nice chips. Nice big chunky chips. So frying is as I said, chips, Charles Dickens, synonymous. It looks beautiful. I'm going to transfer to this bowl. We're going to dry again, leave to one side. Then we're going to cook the fish. What I don't like about pre-portioned cod, you lose the ends of the fish. You don't get a good fillet. You just get this piece of fish, which is what we're doing now. And the reason I'm not cooking it inside is because it spits everywhere, as you can see. Clean as you go. Got that lovely raspiness with the knife. Very, very nice. So this is the milkfish. Now there's cream durian. It's very wet, and that's why all that fat is starting to spit, because the batter is keeping the steam inside, and then because it's lots of water, I've dried it off. It's popping out through the batter and getting into the oil, and that's giving the oil the chance to spit and, you know, go over all the table. That's why when you're cooking inside, frying food that's full of water makes your whole house greasy. So that's why I'm on the balcony looking at this. It's a picture. The cod didn't turn around and spit like this. This is really, really, you know, giving it all it can to turn around and get the moisture into the out of the fish and into the oil, which is what you don't want. Okay, wipe the foot. Oh, we're back. So this is Alaskan black cod, and this is cream durian. This is £5.50 or 900 peso, and this is 139 peso, but it's got a lot of fat on it. Got the chips, and he's trying to get something to eat, so she's got her chips. So in the UK we would serve it like this in a fish and chip shop with a piece of lemon, like so. Okay, and then we're going to put some vinegar and some salt. You always put the vinegar first, and we have malt vinegar. Vinegar goes first, so the salt will stick to the vinegar. So bon appetit, darling. Okay, we're having a look at the fish now. So oh, I dropped it. So this is the Alaskan cod.
The potato is nice.
Beer batter is very nice.
I just don't like
I should.
this. It's not really sweet, but it's not bitter as well.
Well, so £5 cod, 160 grams. It's okay.
What do you call this fish?
Cod. Black cod. So, cream doria.
Must be alright.
I don't know, Kuya. So we have lasada coming. This white fish, it's creamy, which is what it says. But it has no flavour. Whereas the Alaskan black cod, it's meaty. It's got texture. It's got juiciness.
That's mine.
That's very good. Yours is black cod, Alaskan black cod. So I cooked for George, but George just wants his beer, so we're okay with that. All right. So conclusion: my fish and chips, or my Alaskan black cod and chips, is better than what we've had in Davao. over the last 4 to 5 years, and we've eaten a lot of fish and chips. The word is fish and chips. It can be anything that is battered that they call fish. And sometimes it's so thin, it's like eating a wafer.